Crypto.XL, where we uncover the hidden gems of the crypto market. Are you ready to discover the next big thing in investing? Get ready to embark on an exhilarating journey with us as we hunt for small-cap coins with the potential to explode. Join us as we dive deep into the world of small-cap cryptocurrencies, exploring their untapped potential and uncovering opportunities for growth that could turn your investment into a fortune. Whether you're a seasoned investor looking for the next big winner or a newcomer eager to learn the ropes, Crypto.XL is your ultimate destination for insightful analysis, expert tips, and the latest trends in the small-cap crypto market. Remember, this is not financial advice. Only invest money you can afford to lose. Don't miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. Hit that subscribe button and join us on this thrilling adventure to uncover small-cap gems that could skyrocket your portfolio to new heights. Let's make 50-100x gains together.
Good day, guys. This is Crypto.XL, back today with more crypto updates and news. And as predicted, the Ethereum ETF has passed. And we're live. Do it live! Crypto.XL, as predicted.
The Federal Reserve is the world's largest central bank.
The Fed is important to the global economy in so many different ways. The US is the sort of the locomotive of the global economy.
Even though other central bankers often say that they don't follow the Fed, they often explicitly have to.
The Fed's leaders see a slowdown coming in the US job market.
The time has come for policy to adjust.
The time has come for policy to adjust is the quote that's been heard around the world.
Those changes can alter how much dollars are worth in the United States and beyond.
There's a huge trust factor, and therefore the dollar is seen as the world's reserve currency.
So how did the Fed become the world's most powerful central bank? And what do its upcoming decisions mean for the global economy?
All right, to catch up, they've cut the Fed interest rates by 50 basis points. This means that the quantitative easing has started, and a ton of money is going to flow into risk-on assets, stocks, real estate. But what we care about most is crypto. So to all of you who have been accumulating, we are very, very close to the banana zone, right? So if you have not been accumulating these altcoins, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's better to buy it now than to buy it when it's 10x and you can't get any. You can't get that much. And also, none of this is financial advice. It's just my opinion. Enjoy.
This economy, guided by the Fed, is the largest in the world.
The U.S. economy's stature is one of the key drivers of the importance of the Fed, given that the U.S. economy remains one of the largest economies in the world, and certainly of late, one of the ones that's been fastest growing.
A country and its currency doesn't become important and the world's most important currency overnight. The value of the currency depends a lot on the economy. If the economic conditions are right, there's economic growth in the region, then the currency will also appreciate and do well.
From 2022 to 2023, interest rates controlled by the Fed rose to over 5%. Many central banks around the world did the same, making loans more expensive and slowing economic development to halt a global bout of inflation.
Everybody took the elevator on the way up, tightened monetary policy very rapidly. The Fed was at 5.5%. Most other central banks were either close to or slightly lower to the Fed's policy rate, certainly across advanced economies.
Higher interest rates can increase the value of cash.
If interest rates are high, relative to other countries, the dollar is appreciating.
Higher interest rates also make it more difficult to receive raises at work. This can prevent escalating bouts of inflation that economists call wage price spirals.
The Fed has managed the currency for a long period of time in a way that is supportive of a strong dollar. So they will tend to cut off any threat of wage price spirals, and they've done that for a long period of time.
The Federal Reserve manages those interest rates based on what they see is happening in the labor markets and inflation.
By the end of summer 2024, signs of an economic slowdown appeared in the US, prompting central bankers to consider reductions in interest rates.
As the Fed lowers its rate, it's going to get closer to other central banks' interest rates.
Changes to the Fed's interest rate can disrupt stock market trading techniques too.
And that's really what we saw in early August, where we had this sudden global market sell-off that initially started off of a weaker than expected payroll report in the US.
Cool.
Also, to jump in, guys, if you look at the DXY, this is US dollar index, it's currently at 100.658. Basically, what that means is it's on a decline, right? And as this index starts to decline, it means that the dollar is weakening. And as the dollar weakens, the assets that the dollar buys, such as Bitcoin, this is what we care about, it increases in dollar value, right? So that's why it's pretty much written in stone that we're going to get a bull market, that we're going to get appreciating prices in crypto, in Bitcoin, and in crypto. Now, to show you where we are in the cycle, if you look at 2020, 2021, the halving year and post-halving 2021, right? 2020 was a halving year, post-halving was 2021. And if you look at October, you will notice something, because we were in a similar stance to where we are now back then, between 2020/2021. So if you look at 2020, October 2020, right here is the banana zone. Exactly right here in October of 2020. And from October 2020, we pretty much went up in a straight line until April of 2021. Okay? So if history were to repeat, right? Because currently we're rhyming. We're kind of doing exactly the same thing. We had rate cuts. We had the same situations we had, and they started flooding the economy with money. This is when the DXY went down, and this is when Bitcoin went parabolic, okay? So, in other words, I'm expecting something similar to this to happen now. This is why it's critical that buying the dips are very, very important, because once we start doing this, you can't get the same amount of crypto as back here. You just cannot. We've already gone 10x. How are you going to buy the same amount of crypto? You need 10 times the cash. And most people are not able to snap their fingers and multiply their income by 10, right? So congratulations to the Patreon and to the group, because we have been accumulating this entire thing we've been accumulating. So I'm expecting something really, really magical to happen. I know recently in March was the prior peak, the most recent peak in the altcoins. And we've seen a lot of price appreciation. Crypto is going 10/20x in a short period of time, from December of 2024 to March, from December of 2023 to March of 2024, we've seen crypto is going 10x, right? So if we were to take a look at the others, that was a movement. These are the other cryptos excluding the top 10. That was a movement of, it's only a few percentage points here. But again, this looks like nothing on the chart. What is about to happen? If you look, we're currently at support, right? We're about to blow past that and way past that up here and beyond. So if that slight move leading into March of 2024 could give us 10 to 20x on our altcoins, what's going to happen once we triple that? Okay, now you're talking about 50x gains. And depending on the altcoin, it could be a lot more. This is why I'm telling you that right now is mission critical. This pretty much makes or breaks your bull market. The decisions that you make right now makes or breaks your bull market. Bitcoin dominance is still at 58%. It's extremely high. I mean, it's going really, really high, but it's getting to the point where a reversal is imminent. And when this reversal comes in, again, if we're really talking about 50x gains and these kind of gains, and I don't want to give an exact amount of multiples. It could be any multiple. We don't know the exact multiples. I will just say that it looks like exponential multiples are happening. But the Patreon, we've been acquiring cryptos for quite a long time during all of the fear. There's a lot of fear. And we were just slowly accumulating, not too stressed out. We're not trying to break the bank with accumulation, but we were just slowly DCAing in. And I find a slow and steady approach is the best. That way, if there's a huge market movement down, like let's say we buy a crypto and then it drops another 20%, then if you're DCAing in and you're taking your time, you're not too flustered. And if it drops 20%, you can just buy a little bit more at 20% off. But it's times like this when you see the market really turn around, where you see that those little investments that you were making actually turns out to be a lot, right? It turns out to be a very, very big deal. You may think like $50 or $100 doesn't matter, but that's not the case. It does matter a lot. And if you currently look at the price of Bitcoin, it seems like we're having a slight pullback. We went up to above 64K and we're slightly coming back now. So it's 62,871. What I would say about that is, again, I would accumulate on the dips. In other words, guys, I see us as here. So if we're here, we're still going to do this. And if we're buying back here, it lowers our risk. We don't have to sell the tippity tip top of the tip top all the way up here, because no one knows where that is, right? And to throw out some arbitrary price for Bitcoin is kind of a fool's errand. It could be any price, right? That's why if we say, oh, it's going to 150K, it's going to 300K, what does that really mean? I mean, who knows where it's going to go? That's not what's important, because we'll never get the exact number. That's why it's not important. And another reason it's not important is because it's going to leave you holding your bags. You're going to end up holding your bags and getting wrecked because it goes to 150 and you're holding for 3, so you're not selling, and you're going to ride this all the way down back into the depths of hell in the bear market. You don't want to do that. So what I will say is I would just, I would look at the historical chart as far as timing and the price movements of Bitcoin, and I'll be looking to, take profits on the way up. That's all I can say for that. But I definitely want to be buying in here. Okay, I want to be buying in here and not here. I'm not going to wait for confirmation when we get these big green bars. Look at this. These big green bars, my crypto is already up 10x. Why am I buying here? Why? It's so risky, right? I buy here and then whoop, we drop 40%. And no, that's not a good feeling. I'd rather buy here and take my little ups and downs and stuff. Like even if I'm down 40% here, being down 40% here is different than being down 40% here. Why? Because 40% here is 40% of what you bought. 40% up here is your thing already went 10x, right? And then you lost 40%. And so imagine spending that kind of money up here, right? So in other words, let's say you spent $4,000 down here, right? And it dropped 40%, it dropped, $1,600. I mean, that sucks, right? But then it does this, a 10x, and now you have 40 grand. And then it drops 16 grand, right? So you're still up quite a lot, right? 24 grand. You're like 24 grand up here, right? And then it does this. So now, Jesus, what is that? Now you might be over 100 grand by the time you get up here, guys, right? As opposed to you wait for confirmation, Bitcoin breaks all-time highs, and now you start buying, right? And now you have to spend 25 grand up here, right, to get the same amount of crypto, and then it drops 40% after you spent 24 grand. You could imagine the shock. So you lose almost 10 grand right away. Look, the stress level, it's just not really a good feeling. It's a horrible feeling, right? So that's why we're buying down here. We've been buying down here. We've been accumulating. Heck, I've been accumulating before this chart that you see. I've been accumulating all the way back here. So even with the pullbacks, I'm still in profit, right? That's why you accumulate at the lows, because it lowers your risk. It also allows you to DCA out on the way up. You know, you're going to have expenses. We all have expenses, and things need to be done or paid for. So you could use some of that money to pay for your bills or expenses. You know, rent, mortgage, car note, these kind of things, tuition, credit card debt. You know, you can use some of these powerful green candles to do that, or just accumulate cash reserves for safety, right? A safety net. You can do that on the way up, and you'll be able to do that if you accumulate at the lows, right? Not financial advice. None of this is financial advice, right? That's my opinion. You know, that's just for education and entertainment purposes. So things are looking up, guys. Again, do not be scared of the pullback, because we're at 62.9, and we were like 64,000 before, and now we pull back. You have to remember that we're coming from 15,000. So if we're coming from 15,000, we're still way up. This is a bull market, right? And things are looking good now because we're green, but you have to train your mind to take advantage of the red, right? Take advantage of the red, because we are about to get to the point of no return. And if you don't have your bag right now, you're going to be in trouble. But let's get back to the Fed rate cut. This is as predicted. And remember, guys, we were saying this over a year ago. We're saying that they're going to flood the economy with money, that there's going to be rate cuts, that there's going to be quantitative easing, that they're going to have child tax care credits, and they're going to have credits that are going to allow people to buy homes. I remember I was quoting hypothetically, I said $10,000 credit to buy homes. It's turned out that it's 25 grand, right? So they're going to give the people money, because our economy runs on people spending money. We have to spend money in order to keep others employed. So this is part of the system. It's actually necessary. Now, I'm not going to say that I understand the federal system and the world power system like insiders do. But what I can say is that I understand it more than the average person. And this is how things are done to keep the current power structure and the dynamic intact, to keep society intact and under control, right? So these are cyclical patterns. And if you just follow the cyclical pattern and you know what's about to happen, you can position yourself before these dominoes fall, right? So basically, you can end up printing money. That's really how it legally printing money, right? You're actually investing. You're actually investing money. But if you play your cards right, I mean, this is kind of obvious, at least to me at this point. And shout out to the Patreons, by the way. So basically, you just get yourself in the proper position and you'll be able to see some phenomenal gains. I want to get back to the video, but let me just get into some of the gains we've been seeing in a short period of time. It's not a short period of time. The market's just turned around. But the green candles happen in a very short period of time. They happen in bursts. And if you don't have your position before the burst, well, you're pretty much screwed. You have to get in before the burst, not after the burst, right? So again, QORPO world up 38%, shrapnel 32%, OPSEC 26, DiCaprio 17, Nakamoto. Nakamoto is I think is a good risk reward. 17% almost. Sui, again, another good risk reward. If you're looking for the next Solana, you've heard it here. I'm not going to say you've heard it here first, but you've heard it here. The next Solana is Sui. Maybe you have heard it here first. I don't know. But again, I'm very, very bullish on Sui. I've been accumulating some. Actually, when it first came out, I was accumulating a little bit of it. It's just now that I'm like really bullish on it because I'm seeing the price action. I was surprised that that people weren't buying this. I was surprised that the price action wasn't pumping from like inception, because it was so fast in comparison to Solana, and it has more uptime than Solana. Solana has some downtime because they keep having issues. So if you're looking for the next, I would say, good risk reward large cap, right? Because it's a large cap, it's 4 billion, but risk reward wise, this is the next one up, right? And if you look at what the top layer ones can do in a bull market, last cycle ADA was around 80 billion, and that wasn't even the top, but it was near the top. So from here, 10x on 4 would give you 40. Multiply that by 2, that would give you 20. So that's a 20x to get to 80 billion. But you do have to realize that the money supply has doubled in the past 4 or 5 years. So you could well see over, over 150 billion, maybe 160 billion on this. So anywhere from a 20 to a 40x, approximately, not guaranteed. No one can guarantee you returns. No one can guarantee you multiples. And this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. AIT protocol, 10% up. Engine starter, we've been accumulating. Again, this was so undervalued. These are going to give you 40x projects, access to them in the IDOs. This is such a no-brainer. It's so simple. Dami Online, 9%. CPAD, again, another access to IDOs. OXO, up 10%. Netmine token, it's an easy pick. So again, if you want to join the winning team to get the information first and to see what I'm doing, feel free to check out the Patreon. The links will be in the YouTube video at the bottom. But let's move on with the video. I know that was a bunch of information, but again, let's just bask in our success.
Cooling in labor market conditions is unmistakable.
We still had job growth that was positive. We had a slight increase in the unemployment rate. What happened was that it was weaker than expected.
The weak labor data led investors to abandon a popular strategy called the carry trade. Here's how it works.
You borrow in a currency that is cheaper, undervalued, and then you invest in a higher yielding currency.
For example, an investor might borrow money in Japanese yen to buy US assets, like the 10-year treasury bond.
When a carry trade is working well, that means the value of my dollar assets that I just purchased are appreciating compared with my yen borrowing that I've used to buy.
Okay, guys, they're talking about the carry trade. That was a Japanese carry trade situation where basically the Japanese were borrowing money to buy U.S. companies and other companies. And because of the rate changes in Japan, the currency situation did not work out for them. It started working against them, so they had to sell a lot of these assets. Basically, the takeaway, the most important thing of all of this is that during these upward movements, you're going to have scares in the market, right? Now, in a bear market, when you have news like this, you go deep into the red, you go way down, and you don't recover. You just keep going down. In a bull market, you get a wick, and then it pops back up. It's like trying to hold a balloon or a beach ball underwater. You could hold it down, but then it slips. And what happens when it slips? When it slips, it pops way up. It goes way up. So basically, as I've been saying for almost a year now, these wicks are buying opportunities. Now, if you currently look at the price of Bitcoin, we're in a descending channel, right? We're a descending channel pattern where the base of the descending channel is approximately 50,000 and the height right now is about 68,000. Now, if you know about chart patterns, descending channels like this, after a movement as powerful as we've had, this is called a bull flag, meaning that we will break out, most likely we will break out to the upside. And we'll break out to the upside at the length of this pole. And the length of this pole, just so you know, is pushing us above 100,000. The length of this pole once we break out, right? So in other words, if you don't have crypto, right? Because this is where we are. We're here in October. This is the pole. This is the pattern, the flag pattern, right? And if you don't have crypto, you're going to be missing out. It's going to be very painful. It's going to be hard to watch. Most of the people are not in the market yet. Most of the people are going to be coming. They're going to be coming really, really soon too, especially once they start receiving more income. They're going to be flooding the market. And those who've been waiting on the sideline in cash, they're going to realize they're missing out. They're going to start pouring more money in, and that's how we get the bigger green bars. So this is the flag pattern. This is the descending channel. This is the pole. We're going up there, most likely. Not financial advice. And I could let the video continue to play, but it's more important that you hear the takeaways than I'm giving you right now, because I believe these are nuggets that are going to allow you to write your future in stone, right? You're going to have your future etched in stone, like I was going to say like Moses when he brought the commandments, but I guess that's sacrilegious. But again, we're about to get some really godly rays coming in here, guys. It's going to be some green rays, and congratulations to everyone who's remained stoic, who hasn't let their emotions carry them away and, make bad decisions like selling at the lows. It's another thing. If you were selling at the lows during this little debacle of what was happening, if you were making mistakes, use this as a way to correct what you were doing and to make sure that you're psychologically balanced. Make sure that you're not emotional and that you're under control. Because the only way you can screw this up is if you have an emotional imbalance, or if you're easily swayed by the news, rumors of war or crash or recession. If these things get you off the horse and out of the game, you really need to reevaluate what you're doing and make sure that you're under control. Now, another thing I want to bring up is altcoin season. What's interesting about this chart is it says that we're up by a 43. That's interesting. It really is, because we've just ticked up a little bit. Altcoin season is when we're up here around 75, right? So again, I keep on telling you guys that time is fleeting. You really don't have much time. I would say like within 2 weeks, guys. Within 2 weeks, if you don't have your position within 2 weeks from now, you might be buying at higher prices, right? That's what it's looking like to me. That's based on the cycle. We're almost in October. We're almost in Q4 of 2024, right? We're almost in Q4. And this is what happens in Q4. You see this? I know it looks like really tiny, these little dots right here, but look at this. Do you see those little bars? That's already 44%. These little dots right here. That's already... Okay, and if you go from that point to the top, that's 440%. But that's in Bitcoin. So in altcoins, especially the coins that I talk about on this channel, these multiples, again, you could take that multiple and multiply it by 5 or some other number depending on the coin. So literally it's possible to make life-changing gains within 6 months. It's possible. And nothing's guaranteed. It depends on the decisions you make and what you do with your portfolio. Remember to take full responsibility for your decisions. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just showing you what I'm looking at and what my opinions are. And this is for entertainment and educational purposes. I have to say that over and over again because we're about to enter a very emotionally troubling time for some, because you also have to notice, right? If we are going to go from here to here, what does that mean? That means that there's a lot of people piling in on top of. That means there's exponential growth of money coming in. So it also means that the majority of the people don't have their funds in yet. That's another thing that it means. So people are going to be coming later than you are, right? You're worried about your entry and you're worried about 10% or 20%. These folks are going to be coming in after you've gone 40x on some of your altcoins, right? That's what's about to happen. So again, just make sure you're under control. Make sure you have a plan and just follow the plan. It's really that simple. The strategy is not hard, but the discipline and sticking to the strategy, that's very hard, because you're going to be looking at your portfolio and it's going to look like it 4x in a couple weeks. It's not even going to make sense. It's going to be ridiculous. And making sure that you have a plan for this, a plan for DCing out, and a plan to handle your emotions is very, very important, right? You have to make good decisions here. But we're looking really good. I'm going to be concluding this video really soon. The DXY is about to break down. And as it breaks down like this, Bitcoin is about to do this. And again, these little boxes, that's like 40% of box here, guys. Things are about to get ridiculous, completely ridiculous. Others are at a bouncing point, it's bouncing off support. We're about to skyrocket there. The second Bitcoin dominance falls, again, this will happen really, really fast, guys. So if you're not in, you're gonna miss it. All right, this is Crypto.XL. I will see you at the top. Shout out to the Patreons.
Welcome to Crypto.XL, where we uncover the hidden gems of the crypto market. Are you ready to discover the next big thing in investing? Get ready to embark on an exhilarating journey with us as we hunt for small cap coins with the potential to explode. Join us as we dive deep into the world of small cap cryptocurrencies, exploring their untapped potential and uncovering opportunities for growth that could turn your investment into a fortune. Whether you're a seasoned investor looking for the next big winner or a newcomer eager to learn the ropes, Crypto.XL is your ultimate destination for insightful analysis, expert tips, and the latest trends in the small cap crypto market. Remember, this is not financial advice. Only invest money you can afford to lose. Don't miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. Hit that subscribe button and join us on this thrilling adventure to uncover small cap gems that could skyrocket your portfolio to new heights. Let's make 50-100x gains together.
Good day, guys. This is Crypto.XL, back today with more crypto updates and news. And as predicted, the Ethereum ETF has passed